Hey, AfterBuzzers, this is Season 1, Episode 5 from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on AfterBuzz TV 24 Legacy.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Want it, how you need it,
This one.
how you want it, how you need it.
All right, so just in case you guys don't know this song's from this, I used to be a huge movie buff back in the day. This song's from this movie called Belly, and like it's the intro part. And if you don't watch anything else on the video, you can like YouTube it. It's just like cinematically just beautiful. So that's the reason for the song. And there's a lot of gun violence, all that other good stuff that was going on. Anyhow, welcome to 24 Legacy, Episode 5. My name is TK Trinidad, and we're going to be covering it with my wonderful co-host.
And I'm MJ, and you can follow me on Instagram at MJ that Media Girl. Girl, what are you?
Oh yeah, and everything, you can follow me at TK Trinidad. So you guys have been following me, but TK Trinidad on everything as well, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Before I do all that, I don't know if you got to see the YouTube page from last week. There's some comments, but I just want to shout out the good and the bad. So thank you guys for sticking with us to episode 5. So Jerry Yang, oh my gosh, I'm really bad with names, so I'm sorry, but you know who I'm talking about. Chanel Colvin, my writing's also bad too. Dawkin Brooks, Jimmy Amos, Rodney Fagan, Vern C, Doug J71, and David Piper. David was giving us the business, so thank you, David, if you did come back this week, for letting us know what you don't like. Really appreciate that, and thank you guys for thank you guys for
Continue to
give us a chance, because
and watch us every week.
I am starting season 5 of 24, and it's going really, really well. I really like the show. My thing is, it's really challenging. I think maybe this is how it's supposed to be for me. Like, patience is really challenging me because I'm getting to the point where it's like I know kind of how the show goes. So I know like halfway through what you think they're fighting, like they do that, and then halfway through there's something else that they fight and all this other stuff. So now I'm really tempted to just really like fast forward.
She said that last week she want to go to the end of the season and then come back and say, "Oh, okay, this was gonna happen."
So it's really challenging.
She ruins the show.
My patience, but whatever. So we did have a question from Ash on Twitter, and here's his question. To the both of us. So discuss who's the sexiest guy. This is not my question. I just aim to please the social media, you people who are on social media. So discuss who is the sexiest guy on 24 Legacy, the Carter brothers.
It had to be Isaac.
Isaac, yes.
I mean, personally, I don't find anybody just like, ooh, who is that on the show?
Right.
But if I had to pick, it would be Isaac.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a cross between the two. I don't think I can do like a hard answer between the two of them. It depends on what day, maybe what hour. Maybe between 1 and 2, it's Isaac, and between 9 and 10, it's Eric.
Well, I just have to see in person, hopefully one of them come on the show so I can make my decision then. If you see me real cute that day, just know we got to guess.
Wow. So yes, we are planning on trying to get some guests in. So those of you guys who have stuck with us and are still complaining that we should be let go, we're hanging in there. And we're working on some guests, and we are both. Have you watched and been able to watch 24 at all?
I'm still watching it. I'm on season 2. I'm almost done. So yeah, I'm still watching. I am.
Yeah, that show is really like impacted me to the point where I was at a taco store yesterday, or even now. Any restaurant that I go to or any store that I go to, I'm actually looking for cameras.
What?
And I'm sitting in strategic places just in case something were to pop off. So clearly, 24 is getting into.
I guess I don't be thinking that much about stuff like that.
That's why she needs a military man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I even when I go into my house, I'm like looking at places where I can like hide bats and stuff just in case.
No, I do think about that when I'm at home by myself because I stay by myself. I always think about like when I first come in the house, like who could possibly be there? Where they hiding? I'm like, really? I be trying to act like just in case somebody there. I'm like not paying attention, but I really am.
All right, so let's get to the show. Let's get to the show. What I really found really interesting is that's different from 24 is that there's 3 separate stories that are going on and they're all developing at the same time. Whereas 24, it was like one main story and then you're kind of learning a little bit about the other stories, but not as much.
Everything was kind of involved around it, one story.
Right.
Though.
So let's, I think the first story that we should talk about is Amira and her brother, Hameed. So the whole question last week was, or in the weeks up to this point was how are they were involved in the whole situation with Jadella and the whole thing with the terrorists, but we just didn't know how. Because the first thing is we found Amira at the high school. She pretty much killed her boyfriend. The high school teacher is making them a bomb. And her brother's involved, but we had no idea. So we catch up with Amira. She just killed her boyfriend, and now her and her brother are driving home. And they get home, and the father's there.
Yeah.
So here's the whole thing. The father. So I don't. What did you think of?
I really want to know the backstory with the father and the kids, because the daughter feels bad for him and wants, their relationship, but the brother just tie him up. He like, no, why is he here?
Right.
Like, I really want to know the backstory behind it. I was really wondering that.
So it seemed like the father, because the brother kind of sensed something was off. So the father usually announces, so it sounds like the father's a businessman. They're originally from Pakistan. And the father usually announces when they're coming, when he's coming into town.
Yeah.
This time around, he didn't. It's usually like, your parents, like when your parents are happy with you, they like, oh, we're going to get you a gift or, and then, when they're about to hand out a beating, they don't really give you advance notice.
But that's because the dad, he found out that they had something else going on, so that's why he had to do a pop up. Well, he suspected,
yeah,
but he was right,
and
so that's why he had to pop up, on him.
Well, so the father figured out one of Hamid's friends was involved in a bombing. And he, this is his friend. It was his close friend. So he's wondering, okay, I sent my kids to the U.S. What are they really doing? Could my son or my children be really involved? That's why he did the pop-up. But I kind of feel like maybe because he felt it was his kids, he didn't have to, he could just do the pop-up.
Yeah, they too.
Right. But I kind of feel like if you're going to do an element of surprise, it's almost better if you don't do the surprise. Like if he announced, like, hey, I'm coming in for business and treated just like a regular time. And then, said, hey, what are you guys up to? And kind of sniff around versus do something out of the ordinary.
Well, he didn't think that his son was going to knock him out and tie him up.
Exactly. So, essentially, Hameed, the brother, he realizes that, his father's not here just to pop up. His father starts questioning him, and he gets irritated. And because he also dropped out of school. So now the father's like, okay, well, you dropped out of school.
You're not working.
Yeah, you're not working. The sister, he wants the sister to stay in school. And he's really wondering what's really going on here. They're obviously in the U.S. by themselves. Figures it all out. They get into a fight, which I found kind of like, you kind of get to that moment where I think when the father took the first punch, he's like, oh, damn, like... I'm not, I'm the father, but I can't really take blows like that. So they fight, and now the father's on the floor with his hands behind his back, and he's like calling to his daughter, which is obviously his baby. He might have more kids, but it doesn't seem like that. Why are you letting your brother do this? But if you think about it, if she were to go against her brother, she would be on the floor too.
I don't know.
I think
because he kind of need her for the bomb.
Not really. Because so what happened was they get the father taped and all this other stuff, and so we find out coming towards the end of the episode. So we're going by characters, just in case you guys are not following. We find out at the end of the episode, essentially Jadella's the crew there, the guy Kasim, who used to work for the father, but now the father is dead, has activated one of the sleeper cells. So there's 15 sleeper cells, and the plan was to launch all 15 at the same time, and that was the plan, and Jadella wanted to stay with the plan. Kasim thought, we're just going to launch this one first and then kind of go sporadically. So that first sleeper cell is actually Amir and Hameed's, and they're the sleeper cell. And when he got the code, he told Amira to call in everybody. So I think there's more people involved. They're just kind of, he's like the head of it, and he, has his sister involved.
Yeah. So
that's the tie-in. So it's going to be interesting to see. I forgot who his name was on
YouTube?
On YouTube, but there was a guy who because I wasn't quite sure how many episodes there was. I didn't get a chance to really look at it. There's only 12 episodes. So I don't know how they're going to tie it all together because it is 24, so we'll see.
Well, do you think, you know how like Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder, they have like, they show 12 episodes, or they break down the
like
season.
a mid-season?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a possibility.
Oh, I hope they don't do that. That's one of the reasons why I don't know what I would have done in like the without DVR and Hulu, and I don't know what I would have.
I feel like that's what they're gonna do. That's what I was expecting anyway.
Oh, I hope they don't do that.
Because it wouldn't be right. Because they gotta do 24 episodes.
Right. So you think it's gonna be like a mid-season,
Yeah.
and they're gonna break for the summer and come back in the fall?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope they don't do that. Like, you're gonna be like mid-season, you don't know. Well, obviously Eric's not gonna die, but something's gonna happen.
I mean, but it's only right.
Don't do that. That'd be my patience would not. Anyways, so they're they're one of the sleeper cells. They get activated, so we're gonna see what happens with Amira and her brother next week, and what they're gonna do with the father. I think he's gonna die.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think his daughter. I don't think his daughter gonna let her.
She might die too. See, my thing is, after, investing time in 24, my thing is that the brother is totally into the cause. And no matter what, he'll either die for the cause or he'll kill anybody, regardless of your blood or family or friend, for the cause.
Clearly, because daddy on the phone.
Right. So dad's taped up, so he's, because the thing is, if he lets the father go,
no, I don't
he's
think
going to go to police.
I don't think that he's gonna let. I wouldn't even think he'd go to the police on him.
Oh yeah, he would.
Because his daughter, I don't think the daughter gonna die. I don't think so.
Okay, so MJ doesn't think the daughter or the dad's gonna die.
Okay, the dad, I'm on the fence, but I don't think the daughter gonna die.
I think they're both going. So tweet me, let me know if you agree with me or not. So I hope not, but after investing time and now looking at cameras and perimeters and doors and all this other stuff, I think the dad.
She's the new detective.
Yeah, I know. I think the dad and Amira is gonna go, because Amira is gonna go and try to save the dad because she feels guilty, and then Hameed's gonna be like, "Yeah, no, you've turned your back on me," which is like an episode or like some characters in season 4. So I think that's what's gonna happen. See, I didn't even put the names. You'll figure it all out. So now we're gonna go to what I want to say. So now, after watching, because you're saying you're at the end of season 2, right?
Almost at the end.
Almost at the end. So now, who do you think the mole is?
On season 2?
No, who do you think the mole is for 24 Legacy?
I still think it's one of them computer people.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's Andy, but I think I'm leaning towards Mariana. I'm leaning towards Andy because he seems, based off of 24, it's usually the IT people because they're the ones who have access to the most information. Mm-hmm. But I think they're gonna do like a switcheroo, and so you would automatically think it's Andy, but it's actually Mariana.
But the way they have it set up, I think the only reason we think it's Andy is because we've watched 24. But a person, if I would have never watched 24,
right, I
would have never thought it was him.
Well, I would have thought it was Keith. Yeah. Before watching 24, I thought it was Keith when they were first talking about the mole. After watching 24, I was leaning towards Andy, but now watching, a couple seasons in, now I think it might be Mariana.
I think it's one of them.
Yeah. So we'll see how that all plays into play.
But it might be 2.
It might be 2. It might be 2, but you never know. But the fact that Andy is dating Locke, Agent Locke,
mm-hmm.
I mean, agents have dated each other and stuff like that and still been the mole. But I find the fact that Andy's dating, or used to date, or used to do, such a strong man, for some reason, I don't think he's the one. I think they might think he's the mole to start off with, and then they're going to realize, because Mariana might set up Andy. That's another prediction. So we'll see all that goes. So now, fast forward, or we hit the beginning where Eric has now broke up Ben from CTU, and now they're on their way to see this guy named Gabriel. So this is what I forgot to ask you at the beginning of the show. What did you think of the episode on the whole?
I was not expecting Ben to die this week. Mm-hmm. Maybe later on down the line or something, but I was not expecting him to die. And when Isaac put his hands on Eric, Eric's wife. I was like, what? Is she a better one than me? Because I would have left.
Right.
And then I was so mad when all them guys just looking, and he was like, yo, what y'all looking at? We cool.
Right.
I was like, what? What is going on? It's all of y'all and one of him.
So we'll do Isaac first and then Eric. So essentially Nicole saved Isaac's life, and she calls Eric and she's like, hey, you know, I'm ready to go. Where are you? Because she's thinking, which is kind of funny because Eric has been in the unit for a number of years, and I from personal experience, I know that nothing gets tied up. Like what you might think it takes a few moments or a couple hours is going to take, you know, more than 24 hours. Mm-hmm. So she's like, oh, well, you're not doing what you're doing yet. And he's like, no, I have other things to do, which, you know, obviously she's scared and she just wants her husband back. So she wants to go, and he's like, well, you can go over to this friend's house, and she doesn't want to do that either. She just wants to go back to her normal life, which is going to be
no longer normal.
Yeah, which is no longer normal because they're under aliases to start with anyway.
Yeah.
So now the whole thing is Isaac comes back, and it's funny though because I don't know if I can't remember how many people he had with his crew when he went to do the deal. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, Nicole calls him and says, hey, you know, it's a trap, whatever. And then he calls the guy out, and they actually end up doing the deal. I don't know what happened to those guys, but then Isaac comes back, and there's like 8 guys. It's like,
but you remember when Eric first came to the house, it was a lot of them outside.
Right, but what were they do? Like, what was their job? Like when Nicole was running down.
I don't know.
And
Maybe they was on the block serving.
I don't know. I just
we
didn't
in
know.
the hood.
Yeah, I didn't know how they all. I don't know if he did like a mass text, and now they're all.
Yeah, I'm
all
pretty
in the
sure
house
he was like, I need y'all, everybody,
at
in the
9
house
o'clock. Yeah.
right now.
I don't know. It just
When somebody try to kill you and set you up, it's time for a meeting.
Right, but I kind of feel like it. Oh yeah, well we'll see. So Isaac is like the head guy, as we saw clearly from last week when he got Nicole out of the police car. So he does pull a lot of weight, but now he's paranoid, and obviously he has trust issues because I don't even know how this pulled off. How they managed to pull it off. So essentially, Nicole was Isaac's girlfriend. Nicole got with Eric. They got married, and you know Eric got into the military, and obviously and they left. So Isaac felt very like
betrayal.
There's a betrayal, because Nicole compared to Aisha is like night and day.
Yeah.
So you know
Aisha from the hood.
Yeah, what's not even that.
Well, Nicole from the hood too, but Aisha ran away.
Yeah. I wouldn't even say it's around the way. I just think that Aisha is just looking to get a come up, and Nicole was actually really about Isaac and then about Eric. Mm-hmm. Whereas Aisha could care less. Like, she was about the glitz and, you know, the money and everything else. All the trappings involved with dating somebody who's like a thug versus actually being behind your man regardless of what they do.
I don't even think she was more about the glitz and glam. I think she would like him, but when she's just a typical hood chick, and she felt betrayed by him because she heard him talking and was like, once this deal over, I'm gonna leave her. And she like, right. I got something for you. Yeah,
but with that, I think the reason he wouldn't have left her if he didn't feel that she wasn't for him.
He probably he knew what type of girl she is.
Yeah, she just wants the money. She like that drug money.
She the one set up the deal, though.
She set up the deal to cross him.
But originally, she didn't set up the deal to cross him.
Right.
She only did that because he was going to leave her after the deal. But if that would never happen, like if Nicole came back, they would have still been together. Because I think Isaac was lying to her.
Well, it could be. He could have saw that she had connections and used her. It could go either way. So, so we get there, and there was a mass text. All Isaac's people are in the house, and now he's paranoid because people are trying to kill him, and he doesn't know who from his crew is also on that team. So he gets Jerome, who is I have it on here. Jerome's brother, Kevin, who now he's threatening him because he's like, what do you know? And then he collects everybody's cell phones to see, and him in the back, like surfing through everybody's text messages and phones is very,
Who has that type of time? Because there ain't no telling how far you got to go back. Right. And it's about 10 people phones.
Out there.
And how did you get that code? Because I ain't see nobody give up their code.
Yeah, everybody has a code.
Yeah.
And now even, if it's present day, then you have the fingerprint and, face recognition. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
anyways, maybe it's,
Especially with all the technology going on in this show.
But the old Nokias from like the 90s are coming back, so maybe it's those phones.
Yeah, I saw that.
We'll see. So he's going through the phones, and then Andre comes up to Nicole, and he's like, you need to talk to Isaac because he's going off the chains. Which, as he should, if somebody tried to kill you and your girlfriend set you up and you don't know who to trust, now everybody that you look at is essentially an enemy until proven wrong. So, did I say Andre? Andre was like, Nicole, talk to him and see, if you can calm him down and at least soften him up a little bit. So Nicole...
She should have listened to her first man when she said, that ain't none of my business.
So Nicole goes in and tries to do like, hey, this is a situation. I think you should calm down. And Isaac, because he already doesn't... Not necessarily he doesn't trust her, but he's already hurt.
Yeah, he's still mad at her.
Yeah, from the whole situation. Because, like, she could have left with anybody. And she left with his brother.
Yeah.
And, Eric's a great guy, but, obviously Eric, Isaac's been in the game for long enough, so he thinks that he's better than Eric. And, why would you leave good for, or great for good? So Isaac gets, irritated and essentially picks her up and then tosses her out like some trash. It was...
I would have left after that. I wouldn't even say nothing to him. Because I would have listened to my friend. I'm going to mind my business.
Right.
And I'm going to go in Nicole's house.
Right. But the thing is, she did call him to save his life. So I think what she was just trying to do is, her whole game plan was to leave anyway. So I think her game plan was to, like, calm him down. And, when he's calm, he can decide, after he goes through everybody's phone, decide who he wants to trust or not. And, that's it. She steps out of it. So I think her game plan was to, like, talk to him and then leave anyway.
I don't think she was going to leave anyway.
Oh, yeah. After she talked to Eric, she was going to leave.
I didn't feel like she was going to still leave.
I think after...
To go to Nicole's house.
After Isaac brought in...
Oh, yeah. After all of that, then...
After Isaac brought in Jerome, or Kevin. After Isaac brought in Kevin, I already knew some people were going to get killed. And Nicole didn't want to be any part of that. Like, that's when she realized that she needs to go.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to... I mean, even though, like, if the cops did come, Isaac can still say, yeah, it's not happening. I don't think she wants to witness that. So I think that's when she decided, okay, I need to get out of this situation. So he tosses her out the room like a piece of garbage. His friends look at like, okay.
We cool.
Yeah, we can do something because all 10 of us can rush him, but... Isaac has that type of power. I think he can call in people from other communities too. So maybe that's the power that he wields against his crew.
I never understood stuff like that. When all these people work under you, y'all can unite and go against this one person. I just never understood, the whole game.
Well, it depends on the power dynamic, and it depends on the connection that who the top person is connected to. And usually they're connected to a lot of people because they've been in the game in order to get to the top. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you watch, like, those mafia movies or anything like that, depending on the whole loyalty thing, if you kill that guy, then there's going to be 10 crews coming after you anyway, so they're going to take you out for killing that guy. So I don't know the grand scheme of Isaac's crew and how it breaks down, and if he's, with some other crew, but,
I'm going to stay on the straight and narrow.
And have the bat in the house. So he tosses Nicole out. Then after that, he realizes that, dang, I just tossed my ex-girlfriend and my sister-in-law out. So let me go and apologize, as he should.
It sounds so weird.
As he should. So he goes in and apologizes to her and convinces her to stay. Because in essence, where else is she going to go? Like, yeah, she can go somewhere else. But... I think what Eric doesn't realize, because he hasn't watched 24, I'm just joking. What Eric doesn't realize is that it's not over yet. Mm-hmm. So even though he thinks like the danger to Nicole is over, it's not. So her best bet is to stay with Isaac until it's all done.
Yeah.
Even though he might be killing some people, she just needs to go and watch like Young the Restless upstairs. And turn it up real loud so she doesn't have to witness anything, or go to like a neighbor's house.
I don't know nothing. I don't see nothing.
Yeah. So that's her best bet. And he apologized to her and convinces her to stay and all that good stuff. So we're going to see what happens with that. Because I thought they were getting, like, real close to, like, kissing. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I didn't.
Like, he was kind of doing the whole apology. Mm-hmm. And she leaned in a little bit and he leaned in a little bit. I thought they were going to kiss. Like, I hope they don't. But I thought that's what he was like angling towards, like to almost like getting her back, like here's your husband. He's off.
They might be on the cliffhanger on episode 12.
Oh God, I hope. I can't. That's why I didn't watch Scandal all these years, and I just watched Scandal because of my other job. But I refused to watch Scandal or any other like shows that were on because I just didn't want to wait a whole week. I didn't want to do that. I would just get the updates on Twitter and just get the gist. So when we're out of the water cooler, I'm like, oh yeah, got it. But now that I'm doing quite a few shows with AfterBuzz, I'm catching up, and then my other job. Anyways, so now let's go to Eric. So now Eric breaks Ben out, and now Ben is taking Eric to this guy named Gabriel, who he knows because of the guns that the type of guns that Jadila, I'm saying his name wrong. I had it in the beginning, but I forgot. Jadila had. He figures that Gabriel's involved.
Yeah.
So here's one of those things. It's kind of like doing this job. You notice a lot more things that you wouldn't have realized or saw when you're just like watching TV on the couch. So Ben goes to like a 7-Eleven or a convenience store. Eric goes to a 7-Eleven or convenience store, gets Ben this like scissors and stuff like that to cut his beard.
And and that's what I noticed. I know what you're talking about. The scissors, but then later on, he had a full shave. Right. I was like, where?
I mean, he could have shaved. He could have got a shaver, but he just tossed him some scissors. So
yeah, and I was just like,
yeah, just little details.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah, I don't know where the shaver. Maybe the shaver was there. Who knows? No. So as Eric was coming in from buying the scissors and stuff like that, Ben was on the phone. So now that obviously makes Eric kind of like suspect, like what's going on, like something's about to go down.
I already don't trust you.
Yeah, something's and already he shouldn't, given the fact that Ben has been on drugs even before they were out of the military. So they get to Gabriel, and it's kind of one of those things that I wish Ben would just be honest, but I guess he feels like his judgment's kind of cloudy due to everything that's going on, that he kind of left a few details out, like
a lot.
He should have told Eric, like, hey,
I owe him some money.
I owe him $5,000. Was it $50,000?
It was 50.
I owe him $50,000.
Because I was like, dog, that's a lot of drugs.
Yeah. Or I don't know if Eric was maybe Ben knew that they were going to kill him, because if you notice their conversation on the drive to Gabriel, where it's just like, do you think there's another side? Well, I get to meet my sister and my mother. Like, maybe he knew, because it's just kind of...
I think he possibly knew that, the guy was going to kill him because he knew he owed him money, and he couldn't tell Eric because then Eric was going to try to come up with the plan to save the day.
Yeah, different angle.
And then I felt like this was his way of like setting everything back good on his,
his conscience. Yeah. Yeah, because I kind of feel like Eric knew it was coming. Like you said.
You mean Ben?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I do that. I don't know. I feel like Ben knew, like, this is it for me, and I've taken him this far, and because Eric is such a upstanding guy, Gabriel would definitely take. Yeah. Like, help him out, or, he'll get the information that he needs. Yeah. But this is the end of the road for me. So, as we just alluded to, so they go there, and, it's essentially Eric and Ben and 12 guys surround them with guns. I don't know, and I don't think they show this on any like cop series or any series like CTU series, or if there's any like military people out there, when that many guns get pulled on you. One or two, like, do you? Because I've heard people in real life, like, that's the thing that they do. They do either one or two automatically, because your body just goes into this like, oh crap, I'm about to die mode. So they never show that in the movies or TV shows, and it might be interesting just to not necessarily see it happen, but it's like, oh, I just pooped my pants. But anyway, the guns get cocked on them, and Gabriel comes out and he tells the whole story. Ben owes him $50,000, and he's like, well, Ben told the story, like how he got robbed and he woke up, and I didn't believe the story. Did you believe the story?
No.
Yeah. So essentially Ben just put it all in his veins, and he disappeared, which is kind of funny because given the fact that all Gabriel's people are ex-military, and like, I know Ben is pretty much off radar, but they could have found him.
Well, Eric said he knows he's been off radar for a long time, so
Right.
he been knowing how to do it for a while.
Right. But I think if they really want to find him.
But it's just like the people that was looking for him at the first episode. They found everybody except Ben.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. So I guess Ben was just like, he's almost like the human sacrifice. So essentially, Gabriel doesn't trust Ben, obviously, because of everything that happened. And, you know, Eric is there to get the information. So Gabriel gives Eric the gun. It's like, you know, if you really, truly are about getting the information, everything's real, then you would shoot this guy. So, excuse me. I had soda before I started. So he points the gun at points the gun at Ben, and he's thinking, okay, you know, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? I thought he was gonna do it.
I didn't think he was gonna do it. Eric is too good of a guy.
Right. And there's a scene like this in episode 3. I find it. I don't know if they're tying all these elements together from all the episodes into one episode. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Doug or somebody else, but they told me there's 12 episodes, but they're saying that the show is okay enough to have 2 seasons. So we'll see. But so he can't do it because there's a brotherhood, there's a loyalty. The same reason why when Eric knew Ben was on drugs, he allowed him to still be part of military, even though he should have kicked him out. Couldn't do it. And that is essentially the deciding factor for Gabriel to trust Eric. But Ben gets shot.
And I was not expecting it.
I wasn't expecting that, but given the fact that he is still a junkie, he can't be trusted. So even if you have him around, he could have stole something. Like essentially the first episode, like they had the USB stick, and that pretty much would have been the end of the show per se. But Ben ran off with it.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like he can't be trusted because everything's clouded. Like he comes up with these so-called brilliant ideas, which essentially screws everybody else over. So, I mean, I didn't want to see him get shot, but yeah, it was the end of the road for him. I was pretty.
Eric was just looking like.
And he was like ready. He was ready to take. You saw the beads of sweat, which I actually really liked. That was good attention to detail. Like the beads of sweat, like, all right, it's about to go down.
Yeah, because I was like, well, I knew he wasn't going to die, but I didn't know what they was going to do. But I wasn't expecting them to, like, shoot being dead.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, yeah, he needs to go. So essentially, they shoot him. They check out his credentials. Eric is ready to gives everything over, and he wants to know the connection of Ben Khalib with Gabriel and the guns and how it all plays. And Gabriel's like, I don't know what you're talking about. All this other stuff, which leads me to believe he just wasn't an arms dealer. He's actually a believer in the cause as well.
He's like, I don't deal with terrorists. I'm a patriot.
Right, and he said it in such a way that was just non-believable.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it was just like very like
yeah, he did
condescending.
It on purpose. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I didn't believe him. He was lying.
So
because he even killed himself.
Right. This is the funny part. So, you know, Eric manages to get the gun, does a couple of, you know, hand movements, all this other stuff, gets the gun, and now he calls into CTU, tells them their location. They said that they're going to be there in 10 minutes.
Less than 10 minutes.
The first thing I thought was, one, you're holding that gun for 10 minutes. I don't care who you are. I mean, obviously, some are fitter than others.
They're fairly fast because even on 24, they're like, we'll be there in 15 minutes or less.
Right. But still, you're still holding somebody at gunpoint for less than 10 minutes.
And then when I saw him push that button on that watch, I was like, where does that go to? And then when I see, they was like, we got an alert. I'm like,
And the thing is, why didn't he push the button earlier? I don't know why he waited a couple minutes. Like, was he going to see if he could take, like...
Well, he did it once he got on the phone and realized some other people was coming.
Yeah, a little bit after. Well, I don't know what was going through his head, but yeah, Ben called. CTU's on their way. Gabriel pushes the button. Everybody else is alert, and now they come in and essentially.
And I was like, now
out.
They making this unrealistic. Now, how Eric gonna fight all them people?
Well, I mean, it's a good shot.
There was a lot of people, and I was like, yes. I was like, this less than 10 minutes.
I mean, it's a good shot. I kind of almost, when I go back to the gun range, instead of just having like a straight shot, like I want to have like 10 people, I essentially want to have the gun range to myself and then just see.
Yeah,
if I can
watch
go.
out for her.
I'm just saying.
Watch out for her.
Well, I mean, paintball for my birthday, so you guys are all invited. It should be fun. I'll do a lot of practice. So, anyways, the CTU comes just in the nick of time, as television
usual.
does, and Ben now has Gabriel in his clutches, and he turns away for just a split second, and Gabriel essentially slits his throat.
He was like, I got Gabriel. No, you don't.
Which is what I think, that Gabriel's way more involved in the situation versus just
he
being...
didn't just sell guns.
Yeah, he was
like,
definitely...
why would you kill yourself for that?
Right. So, like, everybody who pretty much, if you go back to 24, everybody who pretty much kills himself, they're really about the cause. The ones who don't kill themselves, they're like, I'm just doing this.
Trying to get paid.
Yeah, just because. So that's the end of that. They managed to get some information from Gabriel's computer with his his fingerprint. So they're gonna use some of that for next week's episode. Last kind of storyline is Senator. Oh my gosh, I forgot his last name. Senator Donovan and his father. This scene is just so crazy. So they let Neela go, and she realizes that essentially her career is pretty much over. Pretty much just based off of how she looks. People are judging her. Now they brought her in for questioning, and obviously she's free, but people are still gonna talk. Mm-hmm. But if she continues to work for Senator Donovan, and if he becomes president, then who cares? Which also, it's kind of funny. I don't know if it's a tie-in or a slight tie-in to Hillary Clinton's assistant. I don't know if you remember her. She's married to Anthony Weiner. There was like not terrorist connections, but there was connections with her. I can't remember what her name is. And then Anthony Weiner was the one who sent pictures, penis pics. I don't remember. Oh yeah, this is government. Real life. Anyways, it kind of reminds me of that, because you always hear these whispers that she's connected and all this other stuff, and it's like, she was. I think they would have found out by now, but
yeah,
such is life. So now they bring in Henry Donovan, who is John Donovan's father, in for questioning, and he already admitted to his son everything that was going on, but
he came in there playing so dumb. I don't know what you're talking
right.
about.
So like,
we're family.
Yeah, Shaggy, it wasn't me.
We spend Christmas together. I was
you
like,
got married in my backyard.
And then he was like,
passionate about it though.
And yeah, he was like, I don't know what you're talking about, son. He was like, are you serious? I'm like, are you serious? Like, you told him everything, and you're really coming in here and like, he must be confused.
And I love two things. I love how the father really committed to it, and I love how Senator Donovan came in. It's almost like one of those things where you catch your boyfriend or girlfriend cheating, and you have the pictures, and you have the text message, you have the proof, and you're showing it to them, and they're like,
that's not me.
That's not me. Like, how do you not want to punch somebody in the face? So I love those two elements, because it played into the emotions, whether or not it just somebody's obviously lying to you, and you have the proof, and it's your father, so why would you think? Yeah. So he denies it all, and we leave it off on that interrogation. So we'll see what happens with that. So we kind of summed up everything. What are your predictions for next week?
My predictions. I think. Give me your predictions first. Let me hear yours first.
Okay, so one sleeper cell is open. So we're gonna see if Gel. I had his name in the beginning of the episode. Gel Delhi. We're gonna see if because he ends up shooting Cassini, and you're gonna end up seeing if he is able to pull back the sleeper cell and just say, "Hey, false alarm, hold up." I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, sorry, false alarm.
Is that possible?
I don't know. I mean, he's the head guy. Why not? But if that doesn't happen, which obviously it can't, because it's TV. She's like, Trick, you crazy. So obviously that's not gonna happen. So I definitely think that's gonna the sleeper cell is now activated. So we're gonna see if Eric is going to help stop that sleeper cell, and essentially, in essence, kind of get to all the other sleeper cells, which obviously is going to take us to later on in the episodes. Although how 24 works is that those sleeper cells are going to be, cut off, and then there's going to be a whole nother kind of storyline that was attached to the sleeper cells. So we'll see how that all goes. So I think next episode will definitely be just almost the battle between Eric and Amir and Hameed and the father. I think the father's dying. I think at the end of the show, Amira is gonna try to free the father because she feels guilty, and he's gonna die, and she's gonna get shot, and she's gonna die in the next episode. I think that. I think Isaac and Nicole, they're gonna get closer, or she's either gonna use her her connection to Isaac to like help him along, and then he's gonna feel like he has a chance, and something's gonna go down, and she's like, "No, I was just trying to help you," and he's like, "No, I thought I misunderstood." I think that's gonna happen. The father, Henry, he's just gonna be such a good actor. Either he's gonna get thrown into like a holding cell, or that's gonna like really mess up the relationship. But if you look at Senator Palmer and everything that happened with him, it's like almost like this person's your family, especially when it's like somebody that's been around for you for several years. It's hard to like take what they're trying to do, like they're really trying to do it for the benefit of you, but it's actually bad. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen with that dynamic. I think they're either gonna put Henry in a cell, or they might torture him because they're really good at that stuff. So we're gonna see how that. I kind of hope that they torture him. I think that's gonna happen next episode. Did I cover it? And then Eric is gonna try to stop the first sleeper cell. So I think he's gonna that by the end of the episode they're gonna stop the sleeper cell, but then something else triggers and now they're off to another battle.
I think Eric is possibly gonna find where they're located in the next episode, and with Isaac and Nicole, I think they will continue to get closer. But I don't think nothing's gonna pop off between them on the next episode yet. But I think they're gonna get closer, and then the senator, I think he's still gonna be like, no, like still against his dad. Right. Of course, his dad's still gonna be lying, but of course, his wife believes him. So I really don't know what's gonna. Of course, I think they're gonna like try to get the information from him. And what's that other guy that was helping him at first?
Oh, the uncle?
Yeah,
Tio.
I think he gonna be in the next episode trying to fix something this week.
Right, like in the back end.
Yeah, trying to help the father get out of the whole situation. And
or they might torture him and he just dies too. So.
I don't think the father's gonna die.
Oh man, they just need to clean house.
I don't think the father's gonna die. And what's her name? Amira. Amira. I think she is gonna try to save her dad.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna die. Like, I'm on the fence.
Somebody has to die.
I think that if the brother kills him and he gonna like a warning to her, like, if you do it again, I'm gonna kill you.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I think that's gonna happen. I think the dad's gonna die.
You know what? That's really good that you say that, because that could happen because the one player that we didn't see this week is the high school teacher.
Oh yeah.
Who she's actually involved with, which is still kind of weird because she's a teenager and he's clearly grown. So
yeah, but this kind of
right. Yeah. So that might play a role because the high school teacher seems kind of sitting on the fence. He's really not like he's about the cause, but he doesn't
not
really
100%.
Right. So that might be the deciding factor where he comes into play next week, and now it's like, okay,
I think he's gonna be so scared.
Yeah, and then he's gonna die too later on.
Yeah, I can see him die. He's too weak.
Yeah. So that is our predictions. Again, I thank you to everybody on YouTube and iTunes for good or bad, sending us your comments. I really, really appreciate it. That makes me better. That makes us better because we want to kind of give our opinions and you give your opinions too. That's what it is all about. So definitely go on AfterBuzz TV on everything and let us know your thoughts, good or bad, all that great stuff. My name is TK Trinidad. You can find me on everything: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Give me your opinions, all that great stuff.
And my name's MJ, and you can find me on Instagram at MJ that media girl with a U. Follow me.
There you guys have it. We will see you next week to see if I think I have about 3 or 4 people dying, so we'll see if I'm correct. See you guys later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AFTERBUZZ TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.